Welcome to the TeamRoot.com Classic Grand Slam event here in Kansas City, Kansas. Final event of the 2018-2019 LPRT season. This is our quarterfinal match between number one ranked player in the world, Paula Longoria from Monterrey, Mexico. And she's taking on number 8 seed for this event, Cristina Amaya from Cali, Colombia. I'm TJ Bombal, Commissioner of the LPRT. I'm joined here with Dr. Tim Baghurst. Thank you for joining us today, Tim.
Thank you for having me. Always a pleasure watching these ladies put on a show. And we saw one earlier today already, a 5-gamer, Salas overcoming Enriquez in 5. She was down 2-0 and somehow saved 3 match points and finds herself in a semifinal. This match, Amaya, the number 8 seed, taking on the 1 seed, Longoria. Longoria really made a statement yesterday against the young player from Mexico, Mejia, really taking apart Mejia's game. They've had some close matches. In fact, Mejia's beaten Longoria at their Mexican National Championships. Longoria came in and just established why she is the world number 1. And we'll see if that continues here against the more experienced Amaya.
Yeah, we've had several top 5 gamers already. I mean, our other 2 quarterfinal matches that have already been completed this morning, Natalia Mendez and Maria Jose Vargas went 5 games. Vargas won in the 5th. Also, if you were just watching on this court, Samantha Salas came back after being down 2 games over Nancy Enriquez. Salas came back and won in the 5th game. So Vargas Salas will be our first semifinal match. That'll be at 5 p.m. Central Time. The winner of this match, Longoria and Amaya, will play the winner of the other match, quarterfinal match going on in our other court, Ronda Razic and Alexandra Herrera. I do believe they are in game 3. Let me see if I can get a game count for you.
Well, coming back to this match, what does Amaya have to do? She needs to avoid the unforced errors, and she needs serves that give her an advantage when she has the opportunities. She has great hands. She can hit anything from anywhere. She plays a lot of squash. You can see that in her game. But she can also make some bad decisions sometimes. Longoria is not somebody you say often makes bad decisions. Rarely see Longoria skip. Normally the player with the lower skip count is the one who walks away the winner. Very intelligent player, Longoria. Very fit, very athletic. Really has very few holes in her game, and that's why she has been the number 1 for the last few years. There's that little lunge from squash, flick of the wrist from Amaya, gets the side out. But she's down 0-4.
On our other court, it looks like Ronda Razic lost the first 2 games to Alexandra, and she is leading 10-9 in game 3.
Amaya has to do better. A good serve. Longoria got it to the front wall. You have to finish that point. You cannot let those opportunities escape. You know it. Amaya knows it. That's why you heard her scream. Longoria really controls the center of the court extremely well. She tends to stay fairly deep. We saw that yesterday because her opponent was hitting it back to her deep. And so for Amaya, you have to get her moving, hitting and moving. She's so comfortable when her feet are set. Great example. Just right in the middle, comfortable. This is an easy point for me.
Right. Amaya has such great hands in the front of the court, such great touch shots, great control. So, like a lot of players are asking the same question: what do you do, Coach Tim, against Longoria?
This is a hard one. I don't know that I have an answer simply because, you know, you look at who you're coaching and you say, where do we have the advantage over an opponent? I said Longoria doesn't really have weaknesses. Oh, she's slower than some players, or she's less fit, or her backhand's really weak. You don't see that. You know, when you look at someone like Salas, you can say, okay, that backhand, you can really pick on that backhand, make her run over and take that forehand. You can't say that with Longoria. The only thing that I would say with Longoria is you have to put yourself in the best position to win through putting her in the worst position to win the rally. That's deep in the corners. If you can't do that, then you're probably going to lose. Now, if you can get her deep, then you can hit short. You have to have that ability. Amaya does. She has the hands to hit those pinch winners, and Longoria is definitely a little bit slower moving forward than she is moving backwards or side to side. And so keep Longoria deep, wait for your opportunity, take it. Easier said than done. Most people can't do it because Longoria has a complete skill set.
Opportunities, right?
There. Amaya had it. Amaya had it. She didn't put it away, flicked it back up. Longoria waited, showed her how to do it. You have to take those. You have the middle of the court. You're in front of your opponent. Put that ball away. It's the only way you're going to beat her.
So on our neighboring court, Ronda won game 3, so they are going to game 4. Herrera's up 2-1 over Rasic.
Great rally. Terrific retrieval from both players. Amaya. There it is. There's the half step. If I would say, Longoria, where do you improve? I think that explosiveness forward. Get that ball. Amaya. Longoria giving us a smile in the back. She knows that she was close to that. Didn't quite get it.
She's not a diver either. She's not going to lay out for a ball. Although I have seen it. I've seen it one time, I think, in San Luis Potosí in August last year. I think it was the first I've ever seen Paola dive for a ball. She was playing Gabby Martinez. And that was I think I would call that a grudge match. She didn't want to lose that one. She laid it all on the court.
Well, you know, I remember somebody asking Paola, you know, why don't you dive?
Carla or Paola?
No, Paola, why don't they asked Paola, why don't you dive? And the answer, I don't need to. And it's a fair assessment. You don't need to.
You're right.
She's got great movement, good court presence, good anticipation skills. As soon as you dive, you're out of position generally.
You're on the floor.
Yep.
I mean, so great footwork. I mean, that's first choice no matter what.
Nice hands, Amaya. Flick of the wrist. She just has to be consistent. She can hit tremendous shots, but she can also make some mistakes. Like that, not a good serve. Kicks out. Just too easy for the world number 1. 8-0. There, right?
Smart.
Got Longoria deep. Longoria did well to get that back, then hit it short. But you're going to have to do that consistently. Amaya training out of Chihuahua, Mexico right now.
I think in Cali, the courts where Christina used to play closed, so she had no place else and no players to play against. So she moved. It was important for her training, so she moved. Sounds like the move was a good one for her. She has a lot of players in Chihuahua, and Nancy Enrica and Susie Acosta are both in Chihuahua, along with a lot of other good men's players.
There are the free rallies that give Longoria opportunities. You know, sometimes you look at a match and you go, wow, I lost, 11-3. I didn't play that badly. The differences are so small, and it can create a big range in the score. And also, given the fact it's not rally scoring, you may have had many opportunities to score, and you just couldn't when you were serving, and your opponent could when they were serving. That's tough. Beautifully executed by Longoria. 10 serving 1. Game point. A little bit of luck for Amaya. Ball going down the line. Wow. What a shot.
Yes,
She needs
what a
more.
shot.
She needs more of those.
Good call. Replay hinder.
This first game has gone very, very quickly. Feet are set. Longoria executes so well. So there it is, just like that. Longoria taking on the seeded number 8 player, Amaya, takes the first one.
All right, players will take a break here between games. We'll do the same. We'll be back live at the TeamRoot.com Classic in just a minute.
Welcome to game 2, everyone. Longoria seems to be in a hurry to get out of here, having to wait as we had a 2-hour match in our earlier quarterfinal. Longoria raced away with this first game. Amaya to serve in game number 2. It's a fine line between being aggressive, taking the opportunities when you have them, and going for too much and giving your opponent a free ending rally.
How's it going, Randy? Good, how are you? Doing good. So you played like 5
Good shot, Amaya. Longoria, forehand, backhand, kind of like a palindrome, as it were. Either side, she's very comfortable on both sides and can hit every shot on both sides. Most players
undefeated?
certainly less successful on their backhand for most. Skip ball that time. Don't say that very often. In fact, I think that's the first one. So let's keep a tally of how many times Longoria skips a ball. Tough, so tough. Vargas versus Salas in our first semifinal. Loose serve that time, Longoria got punished. That's at 5 p.m., scheduled for 5 p.m. this evening. The winner of this match, I believe, taking on Alexandra Herrera at 6 p.m. That's Central Standard Time. Beautiful splat winner from Amaya. Again, same thing, feet are set, she can hit clean. Great reach to pick up that ball. Longoria. Longoria doesn't like the call, but just a little coming too early in that shot. Smart, down the lines, all of them, and you can see Amaya frustrated. Hers weren't as crisp as her opponent's side out. You knew it. We saw it coming. Forehand pinch was wide open, but so was the cross court. Which one is the low percentage? Probably the pinch. Amaya leaning back, puts it in the floor. Great serve, Longoria. Dos uno. Another ace serve to that left side. Great serve. Good shot, smart shot that time. Last time Maya had the opening, she went for that pinch. This time, the higher percentage, and it worked. Just too many skips from the racket of the Colombian. Great shot. Longoria patiently waiting for that ball to drop before she took it. 4 serving 1. Winner of this match takes on Herrera. So should Longoria continue, it will be 1 versus 4 and 2 versus 3. If you're just joining us, Salas had an almighty scare in the first match. She had to come from 2 games down to advance to the semifinals. 2-hour match. We'll see if she can recover physically from a grueling battle this morning. Another skip. Amaya, she takes a timeout, frustrated with herself. We'll take a little timeout ourselves. We'll be back in just a few seconds. Seven serving 1. It was 11-2 in the first game. Amaya's been in the service box. Just hasn't earned points when she's there.
Oh, I've already had 3 cups of it. Thanks. Thanks. It's awesome that they have coffee.
Good shot.
Doesn't go unnoticed.
This time both players trying to go down the left side. Amaya finally goes cross court. Skip number 2 from Longoria. Avoidable hinder. No argument that time from Amaya.
That's what we do. We keep them in the way.
I'm serious.
Just a little flat around the courts. After that marathon match we had earlier, everybody looking on, not to mention Vargas and Mendez going to 5 games as well. Great serve. No, called short. That was really close. Piso Amaya. And Longoria is taking the air out of the crowd, too. There's currently not much hope for Amaya. Longoria looking to close out this season undefeated. At least on the LPRT. Two serving 10. Amaya staves off. A game point. Longoria, though, just playing sublimely. And I'm joined by Freddie Ramirez, bring a little life to the party. I was just saying, it's just kind of a bit flat right now after those 2 5-gamers we had this morning.
Yeah, man. Let me tell you, it's almost like an adrenaline dump, you know, because like that last match was just, you know, typical Samantha falling behind and then just working her way, powering her way back through that match. And this one seems like it's, you know, Christina is still trying to figure out how to work her way into this match.
Well, TJ asked me earlier, you know, all right, you're coaching Christina. How do you beat Longoria? I mean, how do you beat the best player in the world? It's not simple.
No. There hasn't been a formula that's been established. I mean, you know, she's had a couple of losses in the last couple of years, but she's always bounced back and like has solved the riddle like fairly quickly for those players who have gotten by her, you know, on those rare occasions. For Christina, it's just like, because she's been playing on the tour for such a long time, you know, this past season, she's made like an adjustment in how she trains. You know, she's spending an extended stay in Mexico, like you know. She's playing regularly with, you know, a lot of the top players over there, you know, and she's exercising more. She's dropping a little weight. She's, you know, physically she's doing the right things, but it just doesn't seem to have translated just yet.
Well, and part of that is because you're the 8th seed, and so you walk into a quarterfinal with playing, you know, the most dominant player, maybe ever in the women's division, and so you're walking in going, well, I need to get out of the 8th spot. If I can get out of the 8th spot, then I've got opportunities to beat mortals, so to speak. And you know, credit the fact that Longoria, you know, although she has a busy schedule, she travels a lot, she trains very hard, she has good coaching, and it transitions into a consummate professional.
Yeah. No, one thing she's exhibited, something that I've noticed over the last season, is her life balance. Like you mentioned, she travels a lot. You know, she takes the time to kind of like, you know, have fun, enjoy herself, keep her professional life, you know, like separate. And, you know, I think she's found a balance right now that's just like really hard to beat. You know, for Christina, you know, her being the 8th seed, you know, it's like, yeah, it's problematic, but opportunities are where you find them, especially on the tour. You know, rather than that seed, you know, she should be thinking, this is an opportunity for me to kind of like see if I can gain some ground, you know, on how it's been when I've played Paola in the past. So, you know, body language.
It's a test, right? It's a test. You get to test yourself against the very best and see if you're progressing, getting better or not.
Especially since, you know, she's been putting the work in, you know, with the extended stay in Mexico, playing those players who sometimes train with Paola too. So she's, you know, there's no excuse for her in terms of like finding, you know, like really good practice partners. But then again, like one thing I'm noticing about Christina right now is her body language. You know, it's like anytime she gets outplayed during a rally or something, she's turning around and, she's wearing that. It's like heavy on her, and she's not moving forward thinking, okay, let me try this or let me try that, you know?
We see that a lot where players just start to lose and their head drops and they start to get negative rather than believing that I can get this back and I'm capable.
What are the things that you, as a professional coach, what do you do to kind of like address those issues before players get on the court?
Well, let's this rally finish.
Yeah. That's a good one for
One
her.
of those is recognizing when you're making those emotional, those negative feelings.
Right.
And so, you know, one of the things I don't notice players do is tape their matches. They expect, well, I'll be on the show court. It'll be on the LPRT. I'll watch it later.
Right.
And then what happens, you get put on court number 1 for whatever reason, court number 2.
Right.
Did you record the match? No, nobody recorded it for me. Why didn't you?
Yeah.
Put it on a tripod. You got a phone. Go for it.
Yeah.
But then you can talk through okay, what are you thinking? What are you feeling? Why are you thinking this negative thought? What can you do to oppose that negative thought and be positive?
Right.
And now let's practice that.
Right.
And put yourself in environments, situations in practice where you are down.
Right.
You know, everybody goes, well, not everybody, but a lot of people may go into practice. All right, let's go practice 0-0. Well, why not practice you're down 7-11? Can you come back? Can you work it back into a match? Or in this case, you're playing to 11. You know, it's 6 serving 9. Yeah. Can situational to
training.
where I have to be positive. I have to believe that I can get those points even though I'm down.
Right. Right.
And
that's big, like in basketball. You know, they do that a lot, especially like, you know, or football. You work on 2-minute drills. You know, things like that.
Exactly.
So very situational. And you're absolutely right. There's no excuse for a professional right now who is really intent on being a professional, especially on a tour, not to record their matches.
Right.
You know, again, we just saw it with Christina just now. A little frustration, and it's being overt. You know.
Well, she could have got that last ball. She quit on it. And you as a coach want to see your player give everything every time, because then your opponent knows that you're going to give everything every time.
Right.
Nothing better, Freddie, than playing a match and having your opponent quit.
Right.
Love it.
Right.
Right?
Well, you know,
free points. You're done. Thank you.
As a player, you know, Longoria's got to be thinking, she's got to be thinking, I got this, you know, or she's broken.
Yeah.
I know I've been on a court where it's like I look back and I see, you know, the opposing team. I know in my head they're broken.
They're done.
They're arguing. They're showing frustration.
And it gives you more confidence. You relax, play your game.
Yeah, it's like I got this. It's easy. I'm cruising. You know, but I did like the way she came out early in terms of Christina, because she wasn't giving ground. Like there was a play earlier that I noticed where like she refused to kind of give Paula like an easy route to the ball, you know, and kind of like challenged her like that. I would have liked to have seen her carry that throughout the whole match. You know, just that little, instead of that body language being so, you know, reflective of her frustration, just be like more reflective of determination. Something like that I'd like to see. And she definitely has the hands, you know, where
absolutely
she's got
we
really
talked
nice
about
soft
that.
hands. Her placement's really good, you know. I like her game a lot. I just think a lot of it for her is kind of motivational.
And she skips too much.
Yeah.
Way too much.
Well, she's standing up. That's, you know, when she's frustrated, she stands up when she doesn't stay low. Little technical things.
Yeah, and I mentioned how few, you know, unforced errors Longoria makes.
Right.
I've got the count at 2 in the entire match.
Well, when she's playing someone like this, you know,
But
there's no pressure.
You can get that. You can't quit on that.
Yeah. Well, right now she's not. There's, you know, she's applying absolutely no pressure on Longoria.
So here we go. All of a sudden it was 4-4. Now it's 10-4. Match point Longoria.
Point.
Just like that.
Yeah.
Another smart shot from Longoria. Just complete control, complete dominance, continuing how she played yesterday.
Yeah. Hopefully, you know, Christina will look back and she'll see this on the replay, and she'll notice her body language, and that's something that she'll address. She changes that. Her game, there's no limit for her game. Anyway, always a pleasure.
Well, we have more matches coming up later today. Of course, let's not forget the women's semifinals. We now know who's playing. Vargas and Salas have both played 5 games this morning.
Yeah.
Test of fitness, test of mental fitness, I think, too, as they face off 2 versus 3.
Yeah.
And then 4 versus 1, Herrera against Longoria.
Yeah.
So 5
be
p.m.,
interesting.
6 p.m. Look
Tune
forward
in.
to those. Don't forget as well, doubles coming up later this evening.
That's right.
On behalf of myself, Tim Baghurst, Freddie Ramirez, thanks so much for watching. We'll be back a little later.